Hi, my name is Vanessa Pike-Russell. I'm 45 years of age. I live in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and I was born with Congenital Panhypopituitarism, also known as CPHP. I was born in Wollongong Hospital in New South Wales, Australia, with jaundice, and I was 2 weeks overdue. They had to induce me. It was a very difficult pregnancy for my mother. She had a lot of nausea, so she took nausea medication known as Debendox, which has been linked to some birth deformities, which I had. I had a pituitary gland that was only 60% of what it should be. I had congenital talipes equinovarus, as in known as clubfoot. I had to have a complete blood transfusion at birth, so they christened me, and they gave me the name Vanessa Michelle Pike-Russell, which I love. Well, it was now Pike-Russell. It was Vanessa Michelle Pike. My dad was 21 years of age and my mum was 17, and they had the two blood types that you're not supposed to mix. My mum did have an injection for it, but they're not really sure why I have CPHP. It could have been the Debendox medication. It could be that later in life my mother had her blood tested and she was low in hormones, and she struggled with hormones. She herself wasn't very tall, and she was very petite. They said that her womb was undersized, and when I was 2 weeks overdue, I was 8 pounds 8 when I was born. So a very small woman with a very big baby. When I was born, my mother was shown my feet, and they were club feet. My feet were turned in and upwards, and it took a lot of surgery to correct it. When I was 13, I was diagnosed with panhypopituitarism. I had a lot of blood tests. I went into hospital and did a battery of tests where they took my blood every half an hour, and they made me do some physical activity on the treadmill and register my blood sugar level and my cortisol levels. They finally found a diagnosis of Addison's disease. I have secondary Addison's disease and adrenal insufficiency, and I was told I had a triple malfunction of the pituitary gland: growth hormone, male and female hormones, and thyroxine and cortisone. So yeah, more than triple. Quadruple. I can't have children. I've never had a period that didn't come out from a pill, and I went on hormone replacement therapy after 20-something long years. I was told I could have a choice between developing or growing, so I went on growth hormone when I was 16, and I stopped when I was 19, and then waited for my bones to stop growing, and then I went on hormone replacement therapy and developed breasts around the age of 21. I can't have children, but I do have 2 wonderful stepsons and a grandchild. I was 14 when my sister was born, which was a gift. I helped raise her. She was my little koala, always on my hip. With my talipes, it was difficult. I wasn't wearing corrective shoes after the boots that they put on me as a toddler. I didn't wear corrective shoes, and that was partly my fault. I was determined I didn't want to be different. But when I was in my 20s, I started wearing Colorado boots because they lock your ankle. They have a lot of support in the ankle. It kind of locks the heel. Speaking of my heel, I was supposed to have heel reconstructive surgery when my bone stopped growing, but I've put it off until now. I'm now finally applying to see an orthopaedic surgeon, and hopefully I'll be having an operation within the year. I'm 85 kilos in weight. I used to be 65. I went on some medication for mood stabilisation that lowered my metabolism and made me very, very hungry. So I put on quite a bit. I'm now eating healthier than I was, and I've lost a few kilos recently, which is great motivation to continue. I keep a food journal and instantonthelips.com.au, and it features a lot of plant paradox recipes. The Plant Paradox is a book by Stephen Gundry, and it's an amazing book. You should really check it out. bit.ly/plant paradox is a link to the book. And basically I'm eating a lot of paleo recipes with restrictive amount of fruits that I eat. I became diabetic in my 40s, mostly because I was having a lot of juice cleanses, drinking a lot of juice in the morning, thinking vegetable and fruit juice, thinking I was doing the right thing, only to develop very high blood sugar levels of 25 and 28. So I went on insulin for a little while, and now I just manage with tablets, the Cena and metformin. I'm also on the cholesterol drug because my cholesterol is a bit high. It's lowering though. And so I take cortisone, acetate, thyroxine, Nicena, metformin, atorvastatin, and now one for hormone replacement. So I take about 10 pills a day in the morning, and about 5 throughout the day. If I don't take my cortisone, I can go into a coma. If I can't keep my cortisone down, I have to go into hospital and have an injection. If I get dehydrated, I have to go into hospital and go on the drip. And so it can be a bit scary. If I exercise too much, it can cause an adrenal crisis. If I don't keep warm, I can get chills, and then I can get sick very easily. My wounds don't heal very quickly, and I have chronic fatigue. I have had it all my life, but I'm actually grateful for it in some part, because it's allowed me to not have so much energy that I was bounding around as a child, and I could read and write by the age of 2. I had Talipes correction of the boots and bar procedure, where you have the 2 boots and then you have a bar between the boot to hold the feet in the right position. Because of that, my mother sat me with books and taught me how to read and write, and when I got to school I was already literate. I loved reading books. And I had a large family with 11 children in my mum's family, and lots of cousins and aunts and uncles. So I was very fortunate. I had a village of people who educated me and guided me and helped me, and especially with the chronic pain and the chronic fatigue. They helped me to live a life full of passion and drive and fun. And I'm forever grateful for what they've done. I live with my husband, and I have my own business. I'm a website developer, graphic artist, social media, photographer, tutor, and food blogger. I studied at university, and it was amazing. The lecturers were really helpful. I told them about my condition, and they gave me some support. And yes, I'm just very fortunate that I was able to do university. I really recommend it. You can audit classes without having to go to university to see if they're a good fit. And so CPHP has been difficult, especially when I wasn't diagnosed until I was 13. I was in and out of hospital. They didn't know what was wrong. I almost had my appendix taken out. Thank God I didn't, because I probably would have died, because it was adrenal crisis. I get a lot of headaches. I have days where I just can't do much. You know, I do a lot of social media on those days, which is great. And I've just made my disability into abilities, and I've got some amazing people, amazing support around me, and life is good. So yeah, so if you have CPHP, please tell your story, share your history. It'd be great if we could raise awareness of this disease. It's a very rare disease, and yeah, there should be more awareness for CPHP. That's all from me now, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Have a nice day.